I recently built a passenger train. Now it's time to move cargo. Today, I'm building a cargo train using the Create mod, designed to transport materials between my farms and the shops at spawn. It's a big step forward, turning this world into a fully connected working system. Welcome back to Just Create. Before we get started, consider subscribing and leaving a like. It helps a ton and keeps you up to date with all my new videos. Before we get started with any cargo train stuff, however, I want to build a quick truck to store all my toolboxes. Now to just craft one of every single Create component that I want to use in this. Good little while later, and we have all of the Create components that I want to fit into the 8 toolboxes we have. With these items now in our toolboxes, let's fill a couple of them by spending some diamonds at Chosen's Mall. 8 of those, 8 of these, 6. Okay, I don't think my 2 stacks of diamonds will be nearly enough, but let's see. Let's continue filling up our shopping list here. I think that is everything that we can buy from Chosen. I'm not entirely sure, but I think so. So let's see if we have enough diamonds. What's the cost? Oh, 204 diamonds. Okay, and I have 128. So, right, let's bring out these 2 stacks as well, and that is enough. And we have 23 diamonds left. Woo! Okay, that's more items. Okay, good. I was, for a second there, I thought I was getting scammed. Right, now... Oh, now we have to get all of this into the truck. Got 193 drills. Wait, what? Why do we only have 193 drills? Okay, all of these seem to have worked. I guess I bought too few drills. Bought too few chains as well. Okay, but everything else is good. Okay, now everything that we were able to buy from Chosen is filled up, which is not a lot in the grand scheme of things. With the truck stocked up at least a little bit for now, let's actually get started on building this train, because we have a lot of things to connect up to this later in order to actually transport items back and forth. And well, first we need the train so we can hook all of these things up. This time, let's actually be smart about this and see, ooh, plus 35. That's a lot of things. And also a mess and not organized at all, but that's fine. Well, we got a good start, but let's see how far we can get with the materials already in our storage. Organized a little bit as well, and we have 2 and a bit boxes now, and still a few more items to go and get. And we need more acacia, bamboo, a little bit of mangrove, and that's it for wood. Cut down a few of these. A bunch of bamboo as well, which we can craft up. We also need more train casings, as I'm all out of those, and some more train controls, which means we need more brass, and this is the last copper I have, so we do also have to go mining for some copper very, very soon. While that smelts up, let's quickly borrow Beardy's crusher, and then over to Chosen's train casing factory. Just plunk those in there, and get 2 sturdy sheets. Perfect. Throw 14 of these in here, activate that. First those, then our sturdy sheets, throwing that in again. We can actually deactivate that, and we can also strip up some mangrove logs while we're here. Waiting for that to be stripped. Let's craft up our 2 extra train controls. Now everything on these last 3 pages just needs me to get more copper, so let's grab our fortune pickaxe instead and find a cave. I wonder if there's still a bunch of copper in this cave over here, and if I could stop doing this. Whee! Oh yeah, there's even copper just exposed up here. This is perfect. Right back, just grabbing a bit more zinc that we can smelt up. Just hopping down here and throwing it into this chest, not the one at the bottom. Perfect. And we can just throw those 2 in, no, that, and get some coal. Now we also need to craft up some other things, like some display links and stock links. I'm gonna make maybe 8 transmitters. Ooh, stack of blocks. Very nice. We also have to press up a bunch more copper, as I need valves. Transmitters. display link. And why can't I make any... Oh, okay, you make stock links with vaults, right. Some factory gauges. Craft up our valves and dye them into some gray valves. And that should be pretty much everything except the copper in the right stages. Then just pop down to the workshop real quick and throw all of this in here. Just gotta wait. Throw this into the waxer. I probably don't need to wax all of this as I'm going to use it a lot in copycat panels, but might as well wax it. And that's the final resources, and we can get started on building this train. I'm actually really excited. Flying on over to the yard where my old train is waiting, which we actually have to name today. And of course, we're going to need a new name for the brand new train. And it looks like someone else has been building a train because I didn't leave a train station here, but I'll use it for sure. So let's bring our blocks out and start on this locomotive. And I want this to be a similar size, so doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks between these two. No, not like that. Swapping that over. This is the front part, and I want to make... Oh, this has a name. It's a tender. Yes, I want the tender to be much closer to the cab of the locomotive, and also have a smaller cab for this one. And so I think something like this is gonna work out, where I really want the space between the cab and the tender to be literally nothing, although we do have to have them two separate cars, so I hope the clipping isn't too bad. But let's get started working on the undercarriage of this. Bring on some deep slate stuff, copycats, and industrial iron, as the base will pretty much be the same as the last one. Starting off with making the shape using some deep slate, and a change I want to make, or an addition I want to make, is some copycat steps right down here, if I can get down to place them. Just going across here, we'll go maybe 5 blocks, and then we can have some deep slate stairs here to start off the cab. These 2 stairs making space for our ladders to get up and into it. Where what we've done with this copycat here is hopefully fix this open space we had underneath the train. As if we just head over to my passenger train, you can see there's a very big open gap. And well, there's actually no real good way of bringing in more bogies, because I would have loved like an extra one of these here and maybe an extra one of these underneath here to just fill the space. But we don't have that, and it makes the whole thing look a little odd if you're viewing it from the side. Still looks great from like an angle if you get up a little bit like this, but unfortunately not good from the side. So what I'm hoping is some steps down here will just sort of hide that away and at least remove the air. But let's bring out some fluid pipe stuff, as I'm thinking this could be some really nice decoration here on the side. And I don't understand how to place these. They never ever place the way you want them to place. There we go. Of course, a couple of metal brackets holding this in place. We won't bring in the valve on this side, but I do like the first layers of this. Let's just bring that in as well. Next up, I think I'm going to go for a similar approach to what we did on the first train with water wheels, speedometers. These are actually new. I want a blast furnace, some acacia bits. As with this, what we can do is first of all place in a blast furnace here, and then run some exposed copper all the way to the front, where we bring in a gate, trap door. Actually want that facing down. And yeah, I know I don't have any cow catchers on these, so maybe I should, but I actually kind of like the front that I've been doing. I should have a stair with me. Let's get that stair in, and then we can run the water wheels in behind these all the way up to, well, up to this point, I guess, and covering these in with our acacia to bring in this orange tone. Then why don't we bring in some redstone contacts right here, that stepping up, and our speedometer going into the wall there, and then we can get a stressometer on this side, and the side funnels going out up here. I mean, maybe let's just switch them in case they were to just drop items on the ground. I don't think they would. Also, I don't think we have any items up here. Then, since this already has a shaft, I'm thinking we can just bring in a mechanical grindstone, something added by Enchantment Industries, which I just think looks so good. We're also using them on the truck, which for wheels, they are so good looking. And Beardy really needs to light this train station up, or maybe I'll be doing that, considering we actually need to hook up. We do need to hook up the first delivery system here today. Ooh, exciting. But first we need that train to actually do the delivery. So let's finish up the front of the locomotive. which is actually looking really, really good. Excuse me, I'm trying to talk here. It's actually looking really, really good, and it's a bit longer than the first one because I feel like the cargo train would be a little stronger than the passenger train. It makes sense, okay? Trust. But let's start working on the cabin, and for that, of course, we're gonna need so many copycat panels. Is any space you actually want to be in on this? And oh, we should probably finish off the tender as well, which shouldn't be too hard. We'll just do something a little like this. Got these actually on the front, and oh, one more thing I'm forgetting up there. We'll sort that in a second. For now, so that these two parts can be actually glued together, we have to bring in some andesite covers here, as well. I can't place a block under this because then this bogie would be glued to it and it can't be a part of the front wagon. It all gets a little confusing, but it should make sense here in a bit. For now, let's make some walls. I really like the open windows I had as a way of actually seeing where you're going. As this window, well, you could definitely see more on this train than the other one, but I did like that idea, and I think that's good. Then we are obviously going to have an opening here, but we'll just do that so we can get across. And for the tender, I think we're just going to extend these copycat panels all the way to the back, where I think this is going to be good. Oh, the glue in this is going to be a mess, but it should be fine, as everything this point forward should be on the two front bogies, and this point backward should be on the back bogies. For detailing this then, I want to bring out our copper, and not our industrial iron, actually our block of weathered iron, as I'm thinking this a trim here at the bottom going around the entire thing, as I don't want too much orange in this. Then just mixing and matching all of these to just, you know, get a little bit of texturing in on here, where the color is definitely contrasting from the front, but I do still really like it. Now to just slap on a roof on this. Just finishing that off, and I also added in a little lip here on the coal cart. I couldn't have like the roof continue on, as well would definitely get clipping on turning, as this roof here will definitely just go across this bit, but I think that's gonna be fine. What I'm betting on is that I made my tracks realistic enough for the clipping to not be too much, and like the separation between these two carts, but we'll see as well. I mean, this area here, we're definitely gonna see something not very realistic, but that's fine. It's just a block game. Let's finish off the interior then, where we'll do 2 chain controls, do that, and a blaze burner. Let's get myself a seat, some wood, a stock link, another display link here up front, and then to just separate the two carts a little bit, we'll bring in 2 trap doors, and actually some fence gates as like handles, which you could use when getting up and into the train, and these should stay open. I don't think they close and open on platforms, so I think that's gonna be a nice little detail. And then of course the coal, where we'll just start building this up using some copycat panels to just get it in a little more, well, you know, shape that coal would be. We'll also hide away a barrel in here. Something I do want to bring in is a portable storage interface, so that we could theoretically fuel the train up with coal to make it go faster if we want to in the future. But I think that's kind of good for now, and I've got to get again sleep before something blows up my train. Yeah, I see you over there. I see you. But with the addition of a little soul lantern right up there, our locomotive and tender is done. And I gotta say, I like it a lot more than the first one. I definitely like the first one as well, but there's something about this one. I think I like that this part is together because it makes the whole thing look more majestic, and I can stop feeling so insecure about the size of my trains. Because really, all the other people, they've got really big trains, and it's just, my locomotive's so small. Oh, we have the factory gauges actually though. So I don't think I want to have any backing up lights, but we could definitely get some headlights on this guy. Just there. Perfect. But with that done, let's shift our focus to the wagon rail car things behind this, and I definitely want 2 block space, so a bogie there, then same length as these, and I think these were 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 blocks in between, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it looks the same. And this would be 3 carts, which is what we had on the passenger train, but let's make this longer to, instead of being 5, I think that's good. And honestly, I'm gonna be a little lazy. Let's see. Yeah, okay, with the wagons marked out, let's get the undercarriages built using the same design for all 5 of these, with mainly industrial iron and polished deep slate, not forgetting our shafts to add in just a little bit of detail to them as well. And why don't we start on the back one since I have all of them done and build up our first cargo cart. Let's see, bamboo for this one and some barrels plus portable storage interfaces. First of all, I'm thinking 2 of these on either side right here. And if we use a temporary block, let's get a full block in here as well. There's a little gap underneath and I can't get rid of that any other way. And then copycat panels back here. I'm gonna use bamboo as a door and it has a little hole in it, but I'm sure that's fine. It's fine. We'll do that. There's some planks above this just for a little bit of difference. Then barrels is what I'm actually thinking of storing things, as these can theoretically hold more items than vaults. We're most likely going to be using packages, so I don't actually need any big vaults or anything like that in here. And if my math is correct, with these 12 vaults here, we can hold nearly 200,000 items in each one of these wagons. And we're going to have five of them. Maybe 4. Maybe we make a decorational one, because that's a lot more than I've ever need. I'll probably only still use the front one, and all of the rest will be detail. But the little math to the other side, let's just get this roof on. That is looking pretty good, but I don't love the barrel side. So instead, maybe just bring in some trapdoors to work as doors instead, because that looks a lot better. Final thing, let's just bring in some... Oh, hold up. Oh, right. There we go. Just some andesite bars there. With the design now for our cargo carts, it's just a matter of building more of them. I think 5 yellow wagons will look a bit weird, so instead of the bamboo, I went for mangrove for the next 2. Then why not also bring in a bit of blue with a warp wagon to finish off the actual cargo carts. The train is looking pretty good, but we do have one wagon cart thing that isn't built in. And well, that's because I actually want to make this a flatbed to bring in something a little different, considering all of these are exactly the same design. And I have an interesting idea using some drills, contraption controls, gantries. I think this is going to be pretty fun. I wanted to use a cart assembler here, but I remembered that you can't actually place those on contraptions. So we'll just use a dirt for now and get in a seat. What I want to create... Oh, I need copycat panels. With those, then let's actually get them into the right place. So this is going to be trickier than I thought. There and there. Let's get rid of these temporary bits, as we can extend these out 2 more blocks, fill them with some polished tuff, and let's work on the back end here with an item vault. Then I'm thinking some linear chassis, just going down a block right here, and that connecting into a plow. So this is actually like a create mod drill, and I guess we do have to remove that bit. Then some shafts and gantry shafts here on the side. I'm getting a little cramped here for everything I need, so we gotta probably move this back just a little bit, as we do have more space down behind it. So bring the vault back in, and then we can get some contraption controls, put some drills in that. Shafts, some metal brackets on these bits here, maybe even there. Yeah, why not? Since this is a train, I was thinking we could actually use some train controls, as they will actually have like the little sticks and stuff to actually move it, and theoretically we could drive the train from here. I don't think I would do that, but I could. Anyways, extending these up 2 more blocks into the front. Let's bring out an andesite casing, and then we'll do our drills, and we'll do 1 layer of 8 going around this andesite casing, and then just 1 more sticking out so that we get a little cascading feel. I feel like there's a word for this. I just don't know what it is. Anyways, I do quite like how that's looking. I think there's one more thing I want to do other than replacing that dirt block, and that would be using some copycat panels to create a bit of a cab. As we do something like this to encase this area, filling all of this in with some weathered iron here. Maybe the regular would make more sense, but the weather just looks so good and I can't help myself. And then to actually use a block there underneath, let's just do a block of industrial iron. There we go. Perfect. Oh, I do kind of like that. Let's get some iron bars just to encase this. Perfect. Then, yep, that finishes up the last cart. I do like this, and it's a very long train. I'm pretty sure we're ready to try and assemble this then. Oh, you don't do that in here, Stam. Oh, you do that over here. Okay, all good so far. Let's see. Oh, it actually looks like a lot of things are staying. Oh, not that part though. Oh, nor that part. Oh, of course, because right, I haven't glued the copycat bits on the bottom up. Hopefully it works this time around. It should bring everything with us. Yes. Yes, looks like it. Yeah, looks like everything is stayed. But with our train sorted out, let's maybe actually work on making a loader and unloader for the train yard. And guess I've just got to start with this. So let's head back to the workshop where I've already done a little bit of material gathering and I got to do a little more as I actually want to craft up some post boxes. That's what we're actually going to use to, well, get items out and into the trains. And this is actually a really cheap recipe. So let's grab up 10 vaults, actually 9 because we already have a frog port. So then get another 9 of those and gotta find some slime. We're actually running out of slime a little bit here. Then for the post boxes themselves, we're going to need first of all 5 barrels and then another 5 andesite alloy. As with this, we can craft up 9 more frog ports and 5 gray post boxes that we can put in our boxes of resources. Actually, one more thing we're gonna need is a bunch of train tracks, like probably let's get another 8 stacks. That should be enough for now. And then I also gotta make some more sturdy casings. Yeah, that's what they're called. What I was going to say is I need to make some more train casings as I need some more signal blocks. Those 30 obsidian got us crushed into 7 powdered, and let's just make those into sheets. Should be enough for now, as I think we get 4 train signals from each train casing. Got those into train casings. Let's craft up 20 train signals. Perfect. Put those in the boxes and we can fly back to the station, where I actually want to redo a bit of the train yard as it's currently a bit short for my train, and I think others and maybe even myself will make longer ones in the future. So moving the junctions close to my tunnel and Chosen's mall, closer to the cliff into the empty space which Chosen recently mined out. And while the texture is completely off and me having to reroute Chosen's train track over this way, I don't think this is too bad. It's not super unrealistic. It's also not super realistic, but I've been Chosen's done curves like this further down on his line, so I think he's fine with it. But once he gets back from his little vacation he's on at the moment, I'll probably ask him and we can maybe figure out a better layout for that. But for now, we have tons more space over here, which means that my train is now no longer sticking out, which was the important bit. But this leads us on to the rest of our resources, where we need to make a loader and unloader system. And I would like to use the chain conveyors because I think that's going to give the coolest effect for all this. So let's bring out some industrial iron, metal girders, chutes, copycats, these levers, chains, chain conveyors, and I think that's everything I need. And then I think we just go in the middle between these 2 tracks here and start making the first pillar. This one won't actually have a loading system as this is where the locomotive sits, of course, but we do still need a few more pillars as well, the decoration. We'll get up around this height. We do need to make sure that we clear the train tracks easily, and this is definitely good enough. So we'll go out on either side. If we round this off slightly and get ourselves up 2 more blocks here in the middle, get some levers in on either side, similar to what Beardy's been doing with his power poles that you can't really see from here. Then we'll get the chain conveyor in with polished deep slate on either side, row of copycat panels on top with our industrial iron, and then I just got to get away. Well, I guess we'll use some scaffolding, and we can do that to encase the sides and head it around. Wait, that works? Oh no, this is an entity now. Oh, oops. But we'll do that, and actually, why don't we get a bit more color in here? I did bring some wax weathered chisel copper. That's a mouthful to say, but I think if we change that out for this, that might look a little better, and it brings in a little more color into it, which I like it from here. Let's see if we bring ourselves down. How do I like it from this angle? Yeah, I think that's gonna be good with a bunch of these going around, and then all the packages will travel to the front here and then across the tracks. And I think I want to build a warehouse over here, although that won't be today, as that's a future project. It's a pretty big project. For now, let's actually work on an unloader one of these then, and I think starting off in the same way with this going up, then we're gonna have to make this one a little wider. So we'll go out to the side here and get some metal girders going up to something like that. And then I actually need my boxes because I need some more things, such as post boxes, frog ports, no, portable storage interfaces, of course. And in here, shafts, brackets, probably more of these, funnels and casings. Ooh, gearboxes as well. Pretty much a little bit of everything. Ooh, wait, we also gotta bring this in. Let's just break this this away. Break that block. Mine ourselves down 1 block. And then we get a mechanical bearing underneath. See why here in just a second. As if we get ourselves back up. Let's take our shafts, encase one in there, extend this out 2 blocks using our brackets underneath here for a bit of support, where we then can go in up above and get 2 shafts in. And I did not bring out the belts, did I? Nope. Bring in a belt, stack that 1 more block. And then andesite casings for that bit. 1 here. Let's see. Oh, no, wait. This is not going to work. No, we do need to make this belt 1 block longer. And then we can get a gearbox in right here. Just like that. That should work for us. Then we are going to wait with actually getting the frog ports in, as I need to get all the chains in. So let's just put those away for now. We need a portable storage interface right here, as we need something to connect up to that. And then, I mean, we really just need a couple of funnels and some frog ports and post boxes, but I do want to place those in a bit. As if we do that there, that should be fine for now, as I'm not sure how the post boxes work. I think we can get the post box in now, where we have to link it to this guy, but I do want to move this underneath, ideally. But for now, if we just jump down here, get us up a couple of blocks, just so that we're right under the terrain, and then I think, yeah, this is where that should go, and then we can take our post boxes, bind that to this guy, take our rockets and fly on out of here. Ouch. Just gotta hop on up on top of the train, and oh wait, no, on top of this guy, and that should still be connected. We've increased the range of these so that we can work with them in a more fun and decorational way. And then if we just place that in there, that connects up. Originally, I think these can be placed 5 blocks from the station, and that's obviously all fine and well. I think that's meant so you can't just export it straight into where you need it, and we could theoretically do that, but we obviously want to use it more decorationally. I want to use it more decorationally. We increase the range just so that we can place it up here and actually still use it. But that actually should be most of this. We do need to get the spinny bit in though, which shouldn't be too hard, as we do need to power this to power the belt. So we're gonna get 1, 2, and 3 shafts, and then our chain conveyor, and then just doing the exact same design as on the first one. Only thing I changed was well, the encased shafts that we need, so that we can bring power from the chain conveyor down to the gearbox that powers the belt. But final thing we should need to do is, well, I mean, just hook yep, nailed that stamp. Hook this guy up with this one, and I think that's going to be really nice. So let's continue adding in even more of these. For now, I'm going to add in another 4, creating 1 for each one of my carriages. We will eventually run into the problem that these won't be able to connect up correctly to every train, as links between front bogie and the interfaces will vary. But we will deal with that problem when it becomes reality. For now, completing this row of chain conveyors by building the ones connecting up the rows together, and that eventually will lead to the train yard warehouse. And there's definitely a very little difference between these, and we could probably remove this one, but I don't think it will, as I like the consistent gap between all of them at the moment. And then over here, we obviously will run this line down, but in the future, we need to get even more of these in to run along here to unload trains on this track. These 2 will be bypass tracks, so they actually won't have any loading and unloading features. We do need to have one here and then over here as well. But future stuff, we need to set those up when other people have cargo trains that they want to drop off things with, because then we can actually program these to match up with that. For now though, we have a problem. These are very much not over the track, and I mean, you saw me place in the mechanical bearing. I think you might have a hint of what my plan is, and for that we've got to head underneath and find all of this. I think this guy right here is the first one. Let's just get 2 shafts running down from that, and then we can do encased chain drives, and now we just have to run these encased chain drives across the entire way. What if we actually get up there and just do it from above instead? Might be easier. This, I think, is the final one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Perfect. Just get that down, connecting up into the encased train drive line, and now we run this back, and we should probably leave some torches down here because we will get mob spawning otherwise. Perfect. That now goes all the way over there, and let's bring out some, not in there, should be in this box. We need observer, comparator, repeater, links, sequence, gear shift, and let's just use some industrial iron as a little like floor. northing. We'll get a sequence gear shift in right underneath this. Then we can get some industrial iron as the floor, like I said, and a redstone link on top of that. We'll set that to receive mode. And ooh, let's go get a water wheel. Getting ourselves back up here, placing the water wheel, and then actually jumping down below. I guess we could just do this. Add in a water source there, which spins that way. And I think that's the right way. So we do input speed forwards. Then we're gonna await new redstone signal, and then we're gonna turn my angle and go reversed. Hopefully it doesn't turn in on itself. It shouldn't though. It should just spin the wrong way. Let's get my ender chest out so I can get some dice, and let's use purple on the bottom, and we'll use a... Do I have anything good for this? I don't know if I do. We can use a industrial iron piece. Yeah, great. That's fine. That should be this area sorted, I'm hoping. All we should need to do is head on over to this guy, because we need to make a little bit of logic. And I'm thinking we can create some quarters down here eventually to like access all of the train stations and stuff. But for now, let's just set this up. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to take a redstone comparator out of this train station to see if, well, there's a train at the station. And currently there's not, because the flag isn't up there, so no redstone signal. Then we're going to want to take an observer signal from that comparator, as I want it to trigger a redstone pulse once. That's gonna look at that, trigger that. We're just gonna extend this pulse a little bit so that it actually gets noticed. We're gonna do a redstone link in front of this guy. We'll do purple on the bottom and industrial iron on the top. And this should now mean that whenever a train parks at the station, we'll get a redstone signal out of this repeater, sent into this redstone link, which activates that once, should spin the cranes out. And then when this train leaves, we should get another redstone signal going through this system. That should activate that one once again, and it should retract. I guess there's only one way to find out, isn't there? We hop on a board, back this up a little bit, and then we go forward. All of the arms spin out, they connect up. We then pull forward as if we're leaving, and all of the arms go back in. That is so cool. Oh, I love it. Okay, let's just back up and get those extended out so that we can add in the frog boards. Oh, I love that. That's so sick. Just hop on up here. Let's just double check so that this still is connected. It is. Great. Then we just need to connect this up to up here. We need to remove this block and also connect that up here. This one will only send packages, and the other one has to receive packages. Figure out the names for these a little later as we actually get this up and running. But pretty much what this is going to do, this is going to allow us to load the train from this guy, as the packages will be sent out, arrive, this guy will pick them up and put them on the train. We'll have to have a train identifier system, which I really have no idea how to do that, but I'm sure I'll figure it out. As well, we need to know what items to load onto the train. I don't think people are going to be loading on that many items in general. As well, most things here at spawn won't actually be exporting, it will be importing items, but I need to export gunpowder, so I need a way to just load the trains up. So maybe that's not a massive issue, because the unloading works with any train as long as they fit. Well, actually no, they don't even have to fit theoretically, they just have to park up at the train station, so it just looks bad. But with this system actually working, I mean, minus the spinning, but we do have to talk to Beard about hooking power up to all this, and I'm not paying for it. But we do also have to name this train, so let's pull this up to a station. Pull that up right here, and now I've got to find where Beardy hid this train station. I'm guessing, yep, here it is. Let me just go there, and instead of Stamp Train, we're gonna be naming this the Kingfisher. And this was suggested by a viewer named Matthias, so thank you so very much, since this train was originally inspired by the Flying Scotsman line of trains, and it's blue, and the Kingfisher is a bluebird from Scotland, so I thought it was a really cool name for it, to be honest. But we do actually have to get some schedules up, as I don't want this just sitting in the station here. It would be much better if this actually traveled to and from the village, so we do have to set that up soon. But let's get the gunpowder on board the cargo train first, and I think I know how I want to do this. Now, what we are going to need is some packagers, and let's make some more stock links, and I already have a factory gauge, so might as well use that. And everything around here in spawn should be force loaded all of the time, so what I should be able to do is place a packager here and a stock link on that. We're just gonna leave this for now, and then link that to this guy, and now we fly off into the distance over to the jungle, I was gonna say, but the village is not not in a jungle. Raven over here, just flying over the trees. Do have to get that path in. But if we now place a packager on this being the gunpowder box, we need a packager on here. I think I'm just going to feed this from below. So let's just remove that. Punch a little hole. Oh, and of course the power goes right below that. Never mind then. We'll move this over one block. Get a packager in right there. And, ooh, well, theoretically, I do want to access this. Right, instead, let's break some of this pale moss and get a packager in right there. Then placing this factory gauge right on this guy should turn that into a restocker. And we need to put some gunpowder into it. And this is now connected to, well, the thing at spawn. So if we do 9 stacks for now, and then send items to, we're just gonna say village for the time being. If we fly back to spawn now, we should see a package. Raven at the castle, if we open this door, there should be a package, and there is. Even 2. Don't quite know why, but right. Let's get this put back in there, though. With them returned, Foxy invited me to above ground boat trip. That totally didn't end badly, because he literally crashed my, like, entire PC. I think it's time. I'm too annoyed. We've had some good talking sessions, Foxy, but I'm gonna be honest, they're quite useless.
It's Horsey! He's back! You killed him! Don't kill Horsey, and please don't put him on the boat.
Why not on the boat?
Because when I turn him back into a boat, he'll die. Wait a second. I've got somewhere you can put him. Just hold on for 1 second.
Okay.
Friend. Redstone contact. I'll be back in 1 second. Don't kill Horsey until I get back. Okay?
Right.
No, don't kill him when I get back either.
Until you get back, huh? Really didn't make that fast. Ouch.
Slightly concerned that Horsey's going to die from all of these drowned that are following you.
No, it's fine. I'm taking all the hits. There we go.
Oh, good. Oh, yeah, it's a bit underwater now.
Send it. I'm above it.
There we go. Here we go. Oh, there's a couple of fellas in the boat. Did I get you?
Hi.
There we go. Lovely.
Oh, is this your transport elevator?
Yeah, this was to get all my animals up there.
Right. I will be honest, Foxy. I've got a bone to pick with you.
Oh, no. Here we go. You've just been nice to me. Don't ruin it now.
This is, quite frankly, a useless horse.
Yes, I know. He is totally useless, yes.
Foxy, you were going to sign those IOUs.
No, I signed them on behalf of the horse.
You can't sign them on the behalf of the horse.
Why not? He can't write. He's got no fingers.
Yeah, so maybe he shouldn't be doing IOUs.
Hey, just because he's got no fingers doesn't mean he's not capable. That's a really mean... Oh, geez, not again.
Foxy, don't kill the horse.
It's a really mean thing to say to him, that he can't just because he doesn't have, you know, the full range of motion that you and I have.
You said Foxy No Tail.
Yeah.
Who's going to do...
Name. Clearly says his name. If you can't tell the difference between my name and his name, then you need to go back to reading school, learn about capital letters.
Right, but...
You accepted the IOUs that I wrote.
You wrote them.
Yeah.
My understanding was that they were on
name,
you.
so I put his name on it instead, and you didn't complain about that.
Come with me, Foxy. Do you see the red building?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll see you in there.
Ooh, that's fancy. What is it? Oh, it's empty. Oh, it's going to be ages
it's a
before
courthouse.
This is ready. Yeah. It's empty, though. It's going to be ages before it's ready to actually do anything with, so that's good. I've got time to prepare. Get myself a lawyer.
Yeah, I'm calling my lawyer as well. Well, looks like we'll have to call a lawyer, but back at the project at hand for now. And I've ran a belt over from the creeper factory now, where the packages get packaged up. They will drop down the chute, go across this entire belt, and we are underneath the train station now, so we are in a place where I can actually start to put in some things for this. And I think we're just gonna get an item vault, first of all, to store more packages over this way. Then I do need more belts. Okay, got a few more bits and bobs, and oh god. And I've actually disassembled this, as I need a way to tell when this train is in the station. So let's actually craft up 2 more portable storage interfaces. Put one of these right here. And this is because I need a specific train to recognize, which is, well, this one. So this is the only train that will have a portable storage interface here. And I can then place a portable storage interface in the ground. And actually, I'd probably want to do that 1 more block down, and then we'll get a copycat panel to cover that. But we can't get the train assembled back up now. Should activate that, send out the arms, hopefully did. And that is our interface. Out of this, then, we're going to take a comparator output, which will run into a block, into a redstone torch, which turns off, and we run that into a redstone link with some green and gunpowder here. And that will send this over to be hooked up over here. That's all we need to do now. Grab that extra belt. We run 1 belt out of that into a frog port. Let's get a redstone link, our andesite funnels. We'll place the frog port in a second. second. Just do that. Link. What did I do? I think I did dye there and gunpowder there. And this should be off, of course, even if we flip it to check. Yep. This good. And then now we just need some temporary chain conveyors until I figure out a warehouse in the future and we can route it through that instead. So let's get that sorted. And I couldn't imagine this be too hard. It does have to be higher up though. No? Could I have it here? Could I place you there? Oh, I could actually. Okay. Then we'll just do something like this. Or I think eventually we want to route this over here. And we could even route it through the ground all the way over this way. I don't think I'll do that though. Instead, we will just connect these two up. Oh no, oh no. And this going, well, into the ground really. There we go. Definitely super realistic. Go through the ground and everything. Pungent through. Let's get an extra one here on the side. That we could actually probably hook up some power to as well. And then run this now into, go on, get up there. No, did not even close. This is such a mess. But hooking that up, this on there to there, and only send packages. Andesite funnel should just put them on the belt, and now we just hook up power to this. Run this over into a large cog wheel so we can get that into a rotation speed controller. Two large water wheels with a little cobblestone floor. Super temporary until Beardy gets back from vacation, and I can actually ask him about power, because knowing him, he'd probably invoice me for just using the power, even if it was for community stuff. This one, there's no use in being slow, so we'll just extend it up. And that is now spinning into this. Perfect. And this is actually also spinning. You can speed this up to, I think, 32. I don't want the packages flying out there, but that should be good. And, well, theoretically, we're ready to load something up to the train. Maybe we try that. So this is YP02. And if we're now over here, I actually forgot what I wanted to do here. No, right. And I forgot the name. Okay, I've flown back and forth now, and this won't be the final setup, but let's do YOP2. No, I did that wrong. YPO2. Probably should use the clipboard. Dash. Oh, wait, I never named the village. I was gonna name the village. Okay, so I've named this now GSH Rocket. GSH standing for Gear Spring Hollow. Suggested by Toughcraft. So thank you for the name. I appreciate it. And this should allow us to send it first to the platform, then to the village, and then to the correct place in the village. All we should need to do is do that, which should cause it to send out a package. I don't know if I've been fast enough, but if I have, I should honestly see the package arrive here. Although I would imagine that it's already been transported into here and into the train. Is everything working? I'm missing a lot of encased chain drives. No wonder that's not working. I think I only did them in the wall and none of these out here. But if we do hook these two up, just like so, and then do we see a package coming along here now? Please? Waiting, holding, waiting, still waiting. 1 eternity later. Package! Oh my god, wait, that's a package. Okay, chunks wasn't loaded. Continues on, goes into there, goes on to that. And now we gotta wait for that to go up. Oh, there it is. Should continue on. I mean, it definitely has a destination in mind, otherwise it would have just been spinning. And it should arrive at this first port here, which should load it onto the train. Okay, it is now in there. And the train isn't set up to pick it up, but that theoretically will go into the... Yes, it works. Now we just have to sort the processes then, now that the loading and unloading works on this side. So now that we know that the loader works, let's actually head on over to the village. And why not actually use the train? Because I still don't think I've actually headed over there using it. Just gonna navigate these junctions, end up on the right tracks. My train fits beautifully in my tunnels, but I've heard some complaints from the other members that their trains don't. Down the corkscrew we go, and well, on over to the village. And here we are. Oh, sorry, llama. Guess we'll pull up to the station for now. We gotta definitely sort some bypass lanes here for when the cargo train is docked. But this should theoretically work to, hop on board. Now, what I've actually gone ahead and done is gather up a bunch of materials, as I want to build another house. So let's start clearing away some terrain, giving us a bit more space here to work with, where I want to start off with extending in a floor. And with the floor plan marked out, let's start bringing up the first wall. Continuing with the deep slate foundation before switching to a lighter gray palette, bringing in pale moss into a build for the first time. Surrounding this with some logs and brown concrete and a few details around the windows. Continuing on with this design, I'm texturing the palemost walls with regular tuff and bricks, and as our lightest tone, some cobblestone. Switching up the details a bit here and there to add some more life to the build while sticking with the overall theme. Starting to get somewhere with this build, but we still got a big hole in the wall here that I want to forward out. So let's start with some pillars using a bit darker tones this time. Then I actually want to bring in some sandstone just to swap up the palette a little bit. Bring in a little mango trapdoor for a splash of color and spruce signs on the outside of this, I'm thinking. Well, this doesn't cover this entire wall, but I do like that splash of color. To fix this final gap, I'll think we'll just get in a little bit of this. Then extending in a little bit of just a patio out here, just as a way to get down to the river's edge. And, well, maybe I want to bring in a field over here. We'll get to that in a bit, though. As for now, let's just finish up the railing. Bringing in some barrels, campfires as a bit of firewood before building up our walls. For the roof of this bit, let's just go in with some mud brick slabs, extend that down and across. And actually, that looks a little weird, so let's actually take this down once again. And instead, just lay it on top of this, and then going down one, and we can just skip that full block of mud. And with all the different shapes of the house now figured out, we can start building up our roof to connect it all together. Using some wooden tones with oak and jungle, together with some mud brick stairs to do this. Of course, this house needs a chimney, which I started on earlier, but didn't finish, so building that up using the same deep slate mix as the foundation. Then let's get to that field I was talking about. First, prepping the ground by bringing in a few lines, of course, and rooted dirt, before building up the boundaries with acacia leaves and filling the rows with lily of the valleys for a cute little flower field. Added in some extra foliage and a birch tree as well, and I really like this side of this building, but I think this field is missing something. It's missing a tree. So it's time to sign a brand new oak tree. I've been putting this off as larger oak trees are definitely the trees I find the hardest to build, but I just could not resist adding another one to my ever-expanding library of trees, as I think it will look so good in this spot. As if you didn't know, I build one new custom tree with each episode and ask you to once again subscribe to not miss future installments of this segment. Tree really finishes off this side where the lily of the valley field is super cute, and actually in real life lily of the valleys don't need that much sunlight, so having a tree in the middle of the field actually shouldn't interrupt them too much. But let's get back to the focus of the episode. Now, first thing we need to set up is a place for the trains to turn around, and I think I'm just gonna go, well, probably maybe to the end of the track. Let's just make this a little wider and then turn it on around. Definitely the most unrealistic part of this entire train track, but that's fine. Let's just put in some train signals here, just in case, so that the trains can just travel along. Flew all the way back to spawn now, as we need to drive the train out to the village to actually line it up with the portable storage interfaces out there. And here we are. Now what I think I'm gonna do is just send this back to Spawn Mountain Platform 1, and then we'll figure out that later, because I need another train station. I don't have one on me, so you just go there, and I'm just gonna hop on off. Save us some time. We can just get this train turned around. Let's see. Yep, that's hooked up a little off center, but that's fine. And I've placed the train track here in a little hole on this side so that we can easily access it with the warehouse. And maybe I can make something nice with this. I probably won't. I shouldn't need to do much to this. I've just named it Stam so that I can easily find all of my train stations in the future, as it will be one giant train network. And then just Gear Springs Hall of Cargo. And since the range is increased, I wonder... Oh, is this too far? No, it's not. Because I'd like to get it in up here above all the beardy things right here. And we're gonna name this asterisk GSH asterisk. Actually, to make sure it doesn't get messed up with anything else, we're gonna do a dash space GSH, and actually another one on the end as well. We should now be able to set up a train schedule, and we're gonna want the train to first of all retrieve a package. It's then gonna deliver said package, retrieve another package, deliver that package, and loop. The first package it's gonna retrieve is packages with the address asterisk dash GSH dash asterisk, which is what that postbox up there is named to. Then it's going to deliver said package, and it's then going to retrieve packages to yard platform 2 in asterisk. I think that's what we're going to want. Now in the rocket factory here. We're gonna have to send the gunpowder into this guy, and we're gonna have to do this from below. He's placed it on dirt. Never place redstone components on dirt. And then we just run this over to the storage warehouse. Let's actually get a use for the truck as well, where I need items. Nope, that's not what I need. Well, I do need vaults, and I also need mechanical belts. Everything should work. I just need to put in a power token here. Turn this on. Start spinning. Good, good. That starts up the factory and everything. This belt will be going the wrong way. So let's just flip that. Go the right way. And it's going slow, but I don't really care about that. I think if we reset the promise on this, we're only going to request 9 stacks. Reset the promise on that. Run on over to the train. We should be able to use this train schedule, and it should work. Oh, no, wait, this is set up wrong. This should be targeting yard platform 2 out. Let's see if we do that. No, I think the name is wrong. I think I figured out the issue, and that is the fact that, well, there's no actual package in the post box, so it actually won't go there. Hence, we need to add in go to the stop first. So let's put that on, and off we go. Definitely need to sort out a few speed changes along the way, so it runs a little more realistic. But if we head up here on the corkscrew into the small tunnel, it should now turn, go onto the right platform, and stop here for 2 minutes. Where I need to double check that there's a package. There is a package. System seems to be working like it did last time. It should be picked up by this frog port, put into the inventory below. The train should then pick this up. Maybe in like 2 minutes. Not sure. Okay, we're just gonna skip current stop, go right to that one. Should pick it up, right? No. Gonna to do a loop. Let's see if it picks it up this time. Oh, wait. I think it did. Yeah, there's no package in there. Should be okay. Right, maybe I needed to arrive then and then do a loop. I've gone ahead and tweaked the schedule slightly, and if we give it to this guy, it should do a loop now. I've also returned the package into the vault down below to see if it works. This is a little bit of a workaround, and I do want to find a permanent solution, but I don't have the time today. So the train should arrive at the station, should identify itself, and then package comes along down here. Package is coming along nicely up top. The train in a second here should set off, hopefully. Has it been a minute yet? Hello? Oh, okay, now it's off again. The package, however, should still be in the post box. We can actually check that if okay, there shouldn't be a package in here. There's not. Okay, which means, yeah, it's still up there. So the train should just park quickly at that station and then carry on. And it's now looking for a package in a post box, which means it should just stop here, pick the package up. Yep, it has, and now it's off again. Wait, but okay, we gotta raise it there any minute now. Oh, there it is. Okay, it should now stop and deliver this package, right? Oh, right, that's the train station it's going to. And we did the U-turn at the end, right? Okay, well, because I've got to stand here and wait for a while. 1,000 years later. Do you really need to get this field in? And oh, there it is, right? It should now slow on down. It's probably going to head off right back to spawn. Well, that's fine. Wait, we should see gunpowder in the factory. I thought I was just going to have it in the post box, but we should actually see the package come into here soon. Please? The belt is slow, I know. Oh, I'm impatient. Come on. I think it's got stuck on the way. Is it still in the train? Let's double check that. No, it's not in the train. Is it in here? It's not in here. Is it in here? It would be in the vault since these aren't spinning. And I need a package filter. Okay, let's stop my train schedule so this train doesn't drive off again. When I got a package filter, let's filter this to dash rocket right here. Shouldn't really be an issue on this closed circuits. We'll just put stake on here so it doesn't go out the wrong way. And then grab some encased chain drives where we can steal from this point right here. Gearbox there. That now goes out. Okay. Jump through the window. Rush over here. Come on. Come on. Package. Yes! Goes out. We're making rockets. We're making rockets from rockets. Wait, what? We're making rockets from gunpowder from the castle in a village. Yes! And then this is going to become empty and it's going to request a new one. So why don't we target having 45 stacks in here? So we'll get 5 packages each time. I mean, maybe 90 even. 10 packages. Let's do it. That's going to want 90 packages. There we go. That's a lot more gunpowder. There's actually already added in an off switch up here for rockets. That will turn that off. Perfect. Very exciting. Now we just have to figure out the return system, which should be just the same system set up here, but I think that's going to be a future stamp problem again, mainly because I want to set up a proper distribution center at spawn for everybody to use. And it's just so much easier if I can actually route my items straight into that and then into the shops from there. So instead of me just setting up a temporary system now and then me just removing all of that within the first few seconds of my next episode. But we do have to test this train schedule once again. We should be now at deliver package. And since it's not gonna do this part just now, we will just do that. Reset progress, spawn yard, platform 2, off you go. And I gotta raise it there because I gotta load the chunks to make sure that the packages end up in the vault. Okay, I'm back over here. These chunks should already be loaded, and I'll make sure to chunk load everything that needs to be loaded in the future for the system to completely work. But for now, we just gotta head down here again and see that the packages are arriving, which there they come. Oh my god, that's amazing. Right, all of those goes in. Perfect. Now it's just about waiting. Wait, wait, it's just... Huh? I'm afraid the server might be lagging behind a little bit because this is definitely not lined up with where the train is. Oh, that... Okay, so that's gotten itself swapped around somehow. Shouldn't actually be a big issue. I just need to power it. Now I'm curious where the packages ended up, though. Oh, there they are. Okay, so since the train bugged, this front port wasn't in the correct spot, so the package had nowhere to go, which means it didn't work. So it should now be set on... Yeah, spawn yard. Okay, actually, it should just reset itself. So it should just take another loop here in a second. And these packages being far too close together shouldn't be an issue either, as this was due to them just spinning on one area because they had no position to go to, as the front ports say which block they're on, not if they're moved. Not like the post boxes. The post box would work here and in the folded in position. The front ports won't. Oh, we're off. Okay, let me hop off so I don't die. Should now just do a loop and then come back and pick up the packages. So even if it does break, it should be fine as long as the redstone... I'm guessing that's because it was unloaded. So yeah, if I just make sure the chunks are loaded correctly, that shouldn't be an issue. But this arrives now again, should instantly pick up the packages. And wait, I'd like to come with you, actually. Train, could one be so kind and let me join you on this journey without dying on the way? Oh no, I'm in the trail, I'm in the tender, I'm in the seat. Nail that. Coming back up on gear springs here. Good. Park itself and deliver the packages, which I think it's done by now. So I'm going to take the schedule back from it because I don't really want it looping at the moment, as the system seems to have some things that needs to be ironed out. But what we should now see is a lot more gunpowder arriving. There's the first package, and here they come, meaning we now have 89 stacks. So most likely it's requested another stack right now, and well, that's quite amazing. I'm in awe with how the factory gauges work on such distances, because this, keep in mind, we're about 1,500 blocks away from spawn, and this is working with the stock link back at spawn. It's quite cool. I definitely need to play around with that system more, and probably will do so in a creative world just to figure out how everything works and how we could use it in the best way. And if you're using a similar system to what I've set up in this episode and you have it working better than me, let me know down below on maybe what I'm doing wrong or what I should change. But we are out of time for this episode, as I am about to fly out to the Netherlands to attend TwitchCon over the weekend, which I'm super excited about. And I also gotta call a lawyer about the Foxy No-Tail thing. The IOU, we gotta get this sorted. I'm tired. The horse, he was a good listener, maybe because he didn't tell me to shut up, but he was a good listener nonetheless. But I need actual work done for the IOUs. That's why I got him in the first place. So we should probably tackle that first thing next time. But for now, thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.